Blog Talk Radio.
Greetings and salutations, Hempsters. This is your Hemptrepreneurial host, Tyler Hemp with HempAware Radio, here to empower your hemposphere and focus on what's most important to you. The purpose of this show is to usher in a paradigm shift in consciousness and literally manifest peace on earth through the education and utilization of industrial hemp for food, shelter, clothing, energy, and literally thousands of other products that hemp can be made into. Because if our basic needs are met and we have clothing and we have a roof over our head and we're getting nourished, just imagine the amazing things that we can do with our life and with our talents and our expertise and our abilities. So to listen to past episodes, including today's show, visit the iTunes podcast library and search the word HempAware, all one word, or you can tune in at hempaware.com/radio. And before I introduce our special guest today, if you have any ideas about who you'd like me to bring on this show or topics you'd like me to cover on HempAware Radio, you can always give us a ring at 805-410-4367 or email us at hempaware@gmail.com. And as I mentioned, I want to introduce you to as many hemp products and companies as possible so that you become so familiar and inundated with hemp that it literally just becomes a part of your natural daily lifestyle, and so that you can start experiencing these amazing benefits for health, wealth, love, happiness, relationships. And if you're not already integrating hemp into your lifestyle, I've got a very fun and exciting topic today, which is hemp foods and other lifestyle products. And I'm very excited to share with you a fairly new yet very successful company. They have just popped off the map and already have over 600,000 followers across all the social networks that I just found out about. And they're doing it in a very fun and catchy way. The company is Hippie Butter. And it was created over 3 years ago, I believe, by chef and chief hemp officer Brad Ervin. And Brad and I are not only going to share with you some of the delicious and nutritious hemp products that he's offering, we're also going to talk about what inspired him to create a hemp company and what his plans are to empower your hemposphere and bring some other amazing hemp products to the marketplace. So thank you so much for joining us on today's show, Brad. I appreciate having you here.
Oh, thank you, Tyler, for inviting us. I absolutely love your intro. It sort of explains what we're all about. Our first T-shirt was actually Peace, Love, and Hippie Butter. So that was great. I just loved how you introduced everything. So it was fun. Thank you.
Well, today's show is just a perfect example of what our mission and our purpose is. So I'm so excited to introduce your products. And, you know, one of my favorite products out of all the thousands and thousands of hemp products that can be made is hemp butter. I just love that smooth, creamy, nutty hemp nut butter. It's just one of the most amazing products. I mean, hemp seeds are great on their own, but when you grind it down into that hemp butter, it's just amazing. I just love your product. And so before we talk about, you know, the products and your product line at Hippie Butter, let's share with the audience a little bit about your history and how you initially were introduced to hemp.
Oh, that's a great, well, it's actually really interesting. And hemp butter, we like to say, is a great alternative to hummus. Anything you can do with hummus, you can do with hemp seed butter. And then we have a cacao butter that has a lot of chocolate and other ingredients that is a great way to introduce kids into superfoods. And so just to give a little more explanation about our butters. But yes, I was a chef. I went to college as a chef and used to work as a chef, and that's where I learned how I like different foods and experimenting with foods. And during my chef career, I became a sound engineer or a systems sound engineer, where I toured with some of the largest entertainers in the world, all the way from Luther Vandross to Pantera, Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, a lot of different other country stars. I've been out with Paul McCartney and Bette Midler and lots of other great people. And when I was on the road with Michael Bublé, we were on a long Canadian tour, and I was at a convenience store, and we saw hemp seeds for sale, and we all started laughing, and I bought a couple bags, mainly as a joke. Being a roadie, you work 16, 18 hours a day, many days out of the week, and they give you really horrible catering food. Plus, I chew my nails like crazy. So I was always sick. I was always ran down. It was just, it was hard to get from day to day. Well, when I bought those hemp seeds and ate them, it was the first time ever, the whole Canadian tour, it was the first time I ever was on a tour where I didn't get sick. I wasn't getting tired at loadout, and I just felt better. I was actually in a better mood. A lot of roadies, if you ever notice, are always very upset and mad at the world. Well, I actually became one of the roadies that wasn't. I was having fun being on the road. And that's sort of how I fell into liking hemp seeds. Well, when the tour was over and I came back to the United States, I couldn't find them anywhere unless you ordered them from Canada. And they were expensive to order them from Canada. So I started buying them by the case. I would hand bags out on tour buses, and the next thing you know, different people were like, hey, the next time you buy a case, buy a couple extra for me. And that's how Hippie Butter grew into a company. We jumped in an inner tube and flowed down the river because anybody we can get to try hemp seeds and hemp seed products keeps coming back for more and more.
What an inspiring story. I really like hearing that. And I'm a musician myself, so I really relate to not necessarily, being on tour, but just, that world of, constantly being on the go and, draining your energy and lifting equipment. And I can definitely relate to that. And, I also love just the idea of infusing hemp into every single industry. And I'm sure you've realized over the years that literally I don't know one industry that cannot be affected by hemp. Like, it's literally across the board. No matter what business you run, no matter what company you work for, there is literally something that you can do with hemp. And so I love hearing that you were one of the first to infuse it into the music industry. And I have to say, too, you mentioned Michael Bublé. My partner and I love Michael Bublé's Christmas album. We're like already listening to the holiday album. But, back to the show. So let's talk more about the products themselves. And you mentioned that you were getting sick. You started eating hemp seeds and you noticed your energy. You noticed you weren't getting sick. Would you say that's due to getting the quality proteins and the fatty acids that are in there, that it just boosted your immune system, or what would you attribute that to?
No, that's exactly right. It's the omega fatty acids. It's the exact ratio of omega-6 to omega-3, which makes your immune system just work really well. The protein is so easy to digest that it gets into your system all the way. I know soy has a little bit more protein in it, but since hemp protein is so much more digestible, you'll actually get a lot more protein from eating hemp seeds.
Yeah. And not to mention, soy is oftentimes genetically modified, and it can mimic, it has kind of plant phytoestrogens. So it can, if you have too much of it, I've heard that it can throw off the hormones. So not only is hemp an easier, more digestible protein, it actually has edestin or edestine, which is an amino acid. And I learned that the word edible actually comes from that word edestin. So foods that have edestin or the amino acid edestin means that they're more edible because they're easier to digest.
Nice. Well, that makes sense because when my wife had a really bad thyroid problem and got really sick, and I was making her drink a lot of hemp seed protein powder smoothies. And that protein that you were just mentioning is what saved her life, is what our nutritionist told us, that if she wasn't, if her level of that protein would have gone any lower, that she might have not been able to come back from it. So you hit the nail right on the head. Yes. So
wow, that's
hemp
awesome.
has helped my whole entire family from head to toe, from inside out.
Awesome, awesome. That's so inspiring.
Because we also have a skincare line. So we use our shampoo, conditioner, and soaps and lotions. We have meal replacement bars. So we literally eat and sleep and clean with hemp products.
Yeah. Fantastic. And obviously, I haven't mentioned it yet, but go to hippiebutter.com and check out the different products they have available, the seeds, oil, their flagship product, the Hippie Butter, hemp coffee product, and then as Brad mentioned, they've got bars and body care products. You guys are going to absolutely love it. And what a better product for Christmas or for the holidays, Hanukkah, or any gift giving time to gift your friends with some amazing Hippie Butter products. So you initially came out with, you were throwing off these hemp seeds off the back of the tour bus and hooking up your friends, and then you decided, I'm going to make a nut butter with this. What was it that inspired you to come up with that particular product?
It was because of our name. Like I said, the whole idea of Hippie Butter was to have fun. I don't know if you know this, but many, many years ago, apples were almost made illegal because people didn't drink much water. They were always drinking apple cider, which of course made them drunk. So the moms were actually trying to make apples illegal for a while. Well, the big apple families like the McIntoshes and everybody like that created the saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, so that they wouldn't make apples illegal. Which is, just a real short story. It's more involved than that, but that's just the real short story of it all. So we came up with Hippie Butter so that it would be something fun. Of course, people that have kids and cannabis get scared sometimes. So we were trying to make it fun, just like the Apple guys did, so that people would enjoy it. Well, since our name was Hippie Butter, people were always calling us and asking if we had hemp seed butter. We made a deal with a Canadian company to help us make it, and then they pulled out, so we had to actually make it on our own. So our hemp seeds for the butter are grown in Canada, but our butter is made in America.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And I bet soon you're going to be rocking the American-grown hemp seeds now that all these states are popping up growing industrial hemp.
Yeah, well, our Colorado hemp, we actually have, sorry to interrupt.
No, fine.
We have Colorado hulled hemp seeds available on our website right now. We were the first company earlier this year to release United States-grown hemp seeds.
I love it. Very cool. So with regard to your I know we've talked about the nutritional aspects. We've talked about how it's, hemp seeds and hemp protein have helped your entire family from head to toe. And we talked about the name Hippie Butter. Like, you wanted to make it playful. You wanted to make it something for the whole family. So what are some of the other benefits that you enjoy and that you stand by and that you love about hemp seeds or hemp foods, or just, the nutritional aspects of hemp, or hemp in general, if you wanted to venture off into the other subjects?
Well, for hemp seed products, the ones that we carry, I just love because they keep me healthy. I don't eat well unless I have the hemp seeds around, and when I get too busy and I stop eating hemp seeds, I can gain weight because I notice that my belt buckle has to be adjusted. So it's an easy way for an ex-roadie to eat healthy and stay healthy and just be able to do stuff all the time. Hemp as a agricultural product is just amazing. It reconditions the soil. It grows easily. It doesn't need very much fertilizer, herbicides, and all that kind of great stuff. So we want American farmers to be able to grow hemp again. I'm hearing a wild delay. I'm sorry about that. It made me stutter.
Oh, no problem. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. So hemp is just such a viable product for so many great reasons. And you can even, once you harvest all the seeds, took all the good fiber, there's still stuff left over that you can make bedding and concrete out of. So the whole plant is always used. There's even products that are now using the hemp root to make stuff. So literally every piece of the hemp goes used.
Exactly. Absolutely. I love it. So what are, with regard to your success, I mean, you guys, it's been over 3 years now, right? When did you exactly start Hippie Butter? What year was it?
Well, we started Hippie Butter about 6 years ago, but it was for fun. As I said, I just sold to friends and family who couldn't find it other places. Then we just literally got so busy that I came off the road about, it would be maybe 2 years ago, to the point where we've been serious enough to have a full-time company.
Right on. So on that note, what are some of the main business principles that you incorporate and live by with the Hippie Butter Company?
Education, education, education. That's what we spend 14 hours a day doing, trying to teach people that they don't have to eat bad food or use bad products or support the Chinese or any of that kind of stuff. There's just an amazing plant called industrial hemp that they can use every day that is just an amazing has amazing features.
I love that. And that's what Hemp Aware is really about, not just selling a product or, making money, which is great. Money's essential for economy, ecology, making the world go round, and we all have to eat and pay for our bills, and so I have nothing against money. But really what you're describing is raising awareness, and that's what Hemp Aware is all about. And so I am, we're on the same page with regard to that. It's the more awareness we have, the better choices we can make, and the healthier we can be, the wealthier we can be, the happier we can be by increasing our awareness, and specifically about hemp. I mean, as I opened up the show with, we can clothe ourselves with it. We can build our houses with it. We can nourish our cells with it. Our brains, every cell in our body completely benefits from hemp seeds and hemp seed oil and hemp food products. So I love what you're doing, and your products are so friendly. And one of my approaches has always been to cater to the whole family. I realize medical cannabis can really be touchy. And for families that have kids that are going through epilepsy or, brain injuries or different traumatic experiences, medical cannabis can be very helpful and very powerful. But for day-to-day lifestyles and for, healthy families that, don't require such a thing, going into the hemp industry and the hemp market is just such a blessing and a gift. So on that same topic, I mean, obviously education is one of your core values, but what are some of the other things that you guys adhere to as far as your values as a company or even as individuals?
Oh, we just believe in treating people right. Everybody's brothers and sisters on this planet. We're just a little speck floating around. We all need to start helping one another. Hemp is a way to do that. Hemp saves water. Hemp saves the planet from having to use oil and cutting down trees. So hemp can save everything, and that is our core value. Is just let's all take care of one another, and hemp is a great way to take care of each other, all the way from, like you said, hemp food, hemp medicine, hemp fuel, the CBD that's out, everything else. If everyone was using hemp, it would just be a better place for everybody. Exactly.
I completely agree. It would really destroy the need for, and I don't mean to use that word destroy, it's obviously violent, but it would wipe out the need for having to go to other countries and pillaging and, digging for oil and, taking over communities and destroying lives. If we start growing hemp globally, we'll be able to replace the need for toxic chemicals and toxic, oil-based synthetic products like fabrics and things that leach into our bodies and, go into all these cosmetics and things. You've got alternatives that are just phenomenal and really just take away the need for these toxic, oil-based products and other toxic things. So I'm right there with you. And kind of on the same theme, and if our listeners have heard of an author and speaker by the name of Simon Sinek, he's an amazing speaker, author. He was in the advertising industry and has helped dozens and dozens of companies. He wrote a book called Start With Why. And the premise of it is people don't buy what you sell. They buy why you sell it. And they don't buy, what you do. They buy why you do it. And people don't, join in with companies just because of, they're selling a product. Yeah, a select few might just buy it because they like the product. But really people buy things for the why. And what I mean by that is they believe in what you believe. And so I realize, we may be repeating ourselves here, but I'm curious to know, what is your why? Why do you wake up every day and do what you do?
I wake up every day so that I can show everyone my hemp lifestyle.
I love it.
I'm serious. I love teaching people about hemp. Again, we've already said this. It's just such a great product for that. And the neat thing you were talking about is, I think it's called the golden circle about marketing, which is one of our core principles. We really want to teach everybody about hemp. We want to sell the best quality hemp products we can from North America as much as possible. I sort of stopped with anything else to say, because my whole entire thing is trying to teach everybody the hemp life.
Mm-hmm. So
we just released a new shirt for people to start buying, and it says, hemp is not just a food, it's my life.
I love it. And really what you're describing there is, I think, beautifully summed up with what Gandhi said, is be the change you want to see in the world. And that's exactly what you're doing. You're like, look, and I think Christ also said it. It's like, be the example you want others to be. Like, do it yourself, and others are going to be influenced. They're going to be inspired, and they're going to want to join in and do what you're doing because of how cool it is and how healthy it is and sexy it is and how ecologically sound, economically sound it is. I mean, as I mentioned before, hemp, I literally believe, influences every single industry on the planet, whether it's, economics, whether it's education, the clothing industry, the automotive industry, energy, every single industry, plastics, just every single industry can be positively affected by hemp. And so you're a beautiful example of living a hemp lifestyle, and I absolutely love it. So we just have, about a little over 5 minutes left, and I would love to hear what your vision is. What is your dream, your higher vision, and specifically where you see yourself and Hippie Butter Company in the next 5 years? Where do you see yourself going?
In everybody's house is our
goal.
We have so many great ideas for so many new products as we grow. We want to create a lot of jobs for a lot of people. The more that people that support us, the more people we can support. We support children whenever we can. We do. If you look on our website, we got a little thing about how we give back to helping children all over the United States when we have a good week and all that kind of great stuff. So it's just all about support and help one another, and let's all grow hemp.
I love it. Yeah, you guys are really, really positive vibes and really, positive message and friendly, branding, and you've done such a great job of packaging and branding yourself. And if you guys want to check out the Helping Kids section down at the bottom of the Hippie Butter website, you can see how they've helped contribute to different kids initiatives, and it's so fun being able to be successful and help others, and be the example in the world, and do it with something that's so positive and so healthy. So what are your favorite aspects or uses about hemp, other than, we've talked about the nutritional aspects, but what are some of the other products that are on the market that you want to see more of, or maybe, something that you want to see in the future that isn't even happening yet with regard to hemp? What is a topic or a product or an industry or something that you really want to see come to fruition?
Well, I'd like to see the United States grow a lot more hemp and use it as hempcrete and building materials, because, as you know, you can compress it into I-beams that are strong as steel. You can make hemp concrete that is stronger than any concrete that's made with regular techniques. The bridges in France that were made with hempcrete get stronger and stronger every year. And if we started building houses for people and buildings and roads and everything else out of hempcrete, I think that would be just a great start of turning the country green.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not using, once again, toxic materials to surround our environment with. There's a syndrome today called toxic house syndrome or toxic home syndrome, and we're just surrounded by lead and formaldehyde and toxic volatile organic compounds in the glues and carpets and things that are just so unhealthy for us. And so I'm so supportive of that vision. I intend on having a hemp house myself in the next 5 years, and I intend on helping others move into their own hemp homes. So I love what you're describing, and France is definitely one of the leaders in the industry as far as hempcrete and building houses with it, and like you said, bridges, which is just phenomenal. It petrifies over time, so it becomes stronger. And some say they can last 900 to 1,000 years. So I really believe that's the future, and I look forward to seeing that come to fruition, and seeing us all live in hemp houses. So with just a couple minutes left, I have two more questions. The first one is, do you have any specials that you plan on doing for the holidays, or are there any coupon codes that our listeners can utilize on the website at this time, or maybe look forward to in the future, or signing up for a newsletter or something to get a discount?
Well, definitely if you sign up to our newsletter, which is at the bottom of our page, we send out lots of great information. We're always sending out recipes. We send out hippie artwork that people can color when they're stressed out, which is just a fun time. A lot of people like adult coloring books now. So we send out adult coloring items, which is a blast. Of course, we send out coupons during the holidays. We're going to have a lot of fun sales. We do have hemp gifts that are always a really good deal. We have a food bundle and a skincare bundle and things like that, which will always save you money. Bundling is always good. So I don't have a coupon code just to give you out over the radio. I was sort of unprepared.
I'm sure, yeah.
But I promise if you go to our website, there'll be a pop-up someplace that will offer you a coupon code.
Perfect. There you go. So we only have just about 30 seconds left. If you could share one last thing with our listeners, just a final inspirational words, what would you like to share with our listeners?
Vote with your money, support hemp companies. It's whichever hemp company you want to. Just let's vote with our money and teach everybody how important the hemp industry can be for the American people.
You heard it, folks, from Brad Ervin with Hippie Butter. Thank you so much for tuning into today's show. This is your Hemptrepreneurial host, Tyler Hemp, empowering your hemposphere because it's important. We know what to put emphasis on here. Check us out at hempaware.com. email us at hempaware@gmail.com to let us know what you want to hear next. Love you all. Thanks so much, Brad. Peace out.
Thank you for having us. Peace, love, and hippie butter.